Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to General Geekery's podcast as JD and I go over a real American hero line, G.I. Joe, 1982 to 1994. This year, we are going to look at 1990. It's a new decade for G.I. Joe. We haven't quite hit that, like, cringe-worthy battle corps years yet. They're still hitting them out of the park in 1990. So, what do you think our top favorite picks are going to be for this year? Although there are some weird ones in this year. So, what do you think our least favorite figures are? And get a list of the figures that were made this year and pick yours along with us. And let's jump right into 1990.
Let's take a look at 90 there. Also a fantastic year for figures.
The first year since 1982 that every single figure was a new character or a new trooper.
Wow,
They
really?
did not have any. I don't think they had a single figure in that year that was an updated Joe or an updated Cobra.
No. Wasn't there last? Oh, no, because Deep Six was last year. It was in 89.
Deep Six and Stalker and Rock and Roll and Snake
yeah.
Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1990. Yeah, all the Joes were new. All the Cobra Troopers were new.
Storm Shadow.
Yeah.
87 was Gung Ho. 86 was Hawk. 85. 85's all new. Yeah, since 85.
Snake Eyes.
Oh, good point. 84 then. Huh.
Yeah,
I missed that completely.
84 did.
Wait,
oh
yeah.
no, you know what I'm thinking of with 84? Because that was the year that the Baroness finally got a figure because she'd been around since the beginning in the comic and on the cartoon, but she never had a figure.
84, there was a second version of Clutch. Desert.
Oh, Desert. Oh, yeah, Tan Clutch from the Desert Vamp. I always lump him in with 83 because of Tan Grunt that came with the Falcon glider. So, yeah. So, 1984 was the Hooded Cobra Commander too, I think. Or maybe it was 83, but
nope.
So yeah, 1990 was all new.
Huh. That's that's because in 83 you had Grand Slam.
Yeah. And so
it's the first year since 82
that had all new characters.
Yeah. Interesting. I never had noticed that before. 1990 is the first year since the inception that it had all new characters. Huh.
Yep.
And what characters they had. There are some fantastic figures this year.
Yes.
So go with your favorite one this year.
I really liked and still remember walking into Walmart and seeing all these new characters and just thinking, oh no, excuse me, it wasn't Walmart, it was Hills, and I walked in, I'm like, these are all new characters. Wow. I remember being totally blown away.
Yeah.
I really liked Ambush.
Yeah.
But I can't decide if him or Pathfinder go at the top of the list. Either way, they're going to be 1 and 2. Let's face it, they're going to be. Ambush.
So going which one's which, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Hang on. Evans I'm rolling a dice. Evens for ambush, odds for Pathfinder. Even, okay, ambush. Um, he had the Civil War style mutton chops beard.
Yep.
He had the vaguely desert camo. I love the rolled up sleeves, but he had the sweater underneath you, so he had the sweat. Nobody else had ever done that in the line. I like the
little tent.
Now, true, when I was a kid,
the little tent thing.
No, see, when I was a kid, I couldn't make that work. I couldn't. It didn't really
work like twice.
I ended up using, I think, the sticks. I think I ended up giving him the Storm Shadow to use as some kind of like ninja. You know how 89 Snake Eyes had that 3-part nunchuck that was like metal bars? That's, I think, what they did with Storm Shadow. I think I gave him his own wooden super nunchucks. I was totally inspired by the Ninja Turtles. And their crazy accessories in that line. But Ambush was so cool. And his file card was cool. And I liked him in the cartoon. And he did, Ambush was great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he had the ghillie suit. If you didn't use the fabric as the tattoo or as the tent, damn it, cat. You can still put it over him like a poncho. It was great.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He was the first figure. He was the first G.I. Joe figure I customized.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I absolutely love that sculpt. My first favorite figure from this year. Boy. Man, oh man. I'm going to say Rock Viper.
Yeah, I can see that.
The color scheme is not too far-fetched for a mountain trooper.
No, he looked cool. I like that shade of khaki or whatever that they used. That was cool.
I liked that he had like his helmet had like some sort of integrated like binoculars because they plugged into his back. He had the grappling hook with the rope. You know, he had all the climbing gear. The gun was phenomenal. It plugged into his backpack. The pistol was really cool. The file card was awesome. The card art was great. I love the like porn stash. Everything's fantastic on that figure.
No, it was a Zorro stash.
Oh.
Zorro was on TV around the same time, and I loved that show. So I liked having the Zorro mask on my Rock Viper or the mustache. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So your second one was Pathfinder then.
Pathfinder. The look of him. Again, he hung out with Muskrat a lot because they both had kind of the boonie hat, but he had the sunglasses on. There was something about his face sculpt to me that he looked like he was Asian. Going by, I don't think he was actually meant to be, but something about the head sculpt. So that's how I thought it was cool because the only other Asian figure I think I'd ever had in the line was Quick Kick. So it was cool to see like but it wasn't the significance of that. I didn't actually figure out until later because he wasn't really portrayed that way. It wasn't until later I found out the head sculpt was based on Larry Hama. For me, he didn't look particularly Asian. I like the idea that he was his file card. He was mixed. He had a mixed bloodline, and I thought that was great. But he didn't look necessarily. But I don't know. Pathfinder was cool. I like the gimmick. Okay. I know the machine gun's on his hips. Wow, that's impractical. But oh god, it was so cool looking. And as dumb as it was, I like the. I like the. Okay, you call it a weed whacker. I call it a automated super machete thing. I don't know. I loved him when I was a kid. he was so cool, and the color scheme was cool.
Yeah, that's definitely one that's recently grown on me. It's going to be one of my next customs. I'm going to kind of skip the hip-mounted machine guns in the weed whacker, but it's definitely one of the ones that's grown on me recently. That I never had as a kid. I never had it as an adult, but it's like I've got a newfound love for that. Not only the figure, but the character as well.
Here's the thing with Pathfinder that I thought. See, in the comic books, Larry Hama, he would deploy the Ranger squads. You know, sometimes he put like Gung Ho in there, like Muskrat, but like he put the Rangers together. You know, Falcon would be with them, and I got Pathfinder, and I thought he looks like he could easily fit in to a lineup like that.
Yeah.
He was just so cool. Pathfinder was awesome. He's one of the rare cases where I had nothing bad to say about it when I was a kid. I still don't. There's nothing to nitpick. Pathfinder's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, my second one. This one's a tough choice for me. Normally, I think I would say Undertow, but I got to go with Range Viper. I never liked the figure as a kid. I thought the helmet was goofy. I think it was just bad sculpting. Because I realized that it looks like a skull. So I did a Range Viper custom, and I used an actual skull for the helmet, or inside a helmet, and it's one of my all-time favorite customs. I won a custom contest with that figure. I love the fact that they give these guys like top of the line gear, throw them out into the field, and they're on their own. That's it. Here's all your gear. You are on your own. You get no more shit. If you want to resupply and rearm, it's on you how to do it. I mean, these guys, I like the fact that they will hit their own guys, hit their own, they'll hit Cobra ammo dumps for their own weapons. They don't give a shit.
That was kind of an aspect of the Range Vipers that it wasn't lost on me when I was a kid. It just didn't excite me. And then later on, when I really started the process, those guys were actually every bit the Ranger types that the Joes had.
Yeah.
It was lost. I always overlooked the significance of that when I was a kid because they were just troopers, and then later on I was like, it's awesome. And then they're still blue, blue was okay, but it was a weird shade of blue. I didn't like
it. It is kind of a weird shade of blue. But yeah, it's when you stop and think about it, it's like all of these guys are soldiers, and they depend on their supply line. If the supply line fails, they don't eat, they don't fight because they don't have ammo and they don't have food. These guys, they are their own supply line. I mean, they're basically like SEALs and CIA agents wrapped up into one guy, because they talk about how they speak different languages and how they can blend into the whatever culture they're in. These guys are, I think, to me, this is the most dangerous trooper in the Cobra Army. Just because they are so self-sufficient.
Yeah.
All right. So give me your least favorite.
I think I'm gonna have to go with the Laser Viper.
Man,
I never had a use for. Yeah, I didn't have a use for him when I was a kid.
No, I didn't
like,
but I got that figure recently, and I love it.
see, that is the definition of a specialty that I did not get at all when I was a kid. Because, see, for me, Flash had the laser rifle, so it was like Star Wars. Sci-Fi had the laser rifle, like Star Wars. And the Laser Viper's backpacks had those two. They looked like the same thing. It was a backpack mounted laser gun. But I was I was a little older, and I had learned um, that the military was using laser guided targeting systems,
Oh, okay.
and I could not pretend that they were laser guns anymore. They were basically laser pointers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's boring, and the body's boring, the sculpt is boring, the colors are boring.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
love the
Laser
color
Viper.
scheme. The dark gray and the blue. I love that color scheme. You're off your rocker. Completely.
No,
off
no,
your
no,
rocker.
no, no, no. It's fine. It's functional, but I always thought it was just bland.
I like the sculpt. I like the independent, like the two guns that can be independently tracking. I think you're completely off your rocker on that, but whatever. You're entitled to your opinion, even if it's wrong.
Clearly,
So for my stinker this year, I would probably, I would probably go with Saw Viper. I think that is a horrible color scheme. I like the concept. I like the file card made their weapon sound just fantastic, but the gun is like something out of a Lanyard line. It is way
no,
out of scale for him.
no, that gun looked like it belonged with. It's so far out of scale for a 3 3/4 inch figure that I think I could give a Marvel Legends 6 inch figure that gun, and it might look natural.
I might have to do that because I've
I
got
don't
that
under.
figure and I've got a Punisher open somewhere.
Yeah, see, I mean that would be awesome, and I'm sure it would fit just fine. See, it's funny because if you look at the card art for the Saw Viper, they had machine guns, but it was nothing like that. I don't know what happened with the scaling on the manufacturing or whatever on that. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I mean the gun in the card art resembles nothing. Nothing.
No, see,
Like
yeah, see,
the
I never
backpack was
was.
bland. I mean everything. I thought the concept was fantastic. I hated the color scheme. I hated the oversized weapon. I hated the blandest backpack ever.
That's true. Yeah, see, the colors never bothered me when I was a kid, but they were weird, but I didn't hate them. The thing that's made the Saw Viper for me was when that Saw Viper came along in the comic book and wiped out half of a mission of Joe's in the desert. Yeah, that forever cemented to me that the Saw Vipers could have been awesome, but I at that point I didn't use them as troopers anymore. I just used them as the one Saw Viper because he made a huge impact on me when I was a kid. So
yeah, and see, I think they eventually fixed that with the 2006 Saw Viper.
Oh,
BTC
with the black BDUs and the red vest and boots. I love that. I love that figure so much. I think I had 8 of those.
I probably had twice that I used for customs. That was my I used that almost exclusively for custom. And yeah, I probably had 4 or 5 just loose running around because it was a fantastic figure. I might still have one on the cards. I do still have one on the card that I never got around to customizing, and I just like, man, this is a fantastic figure. The card art is fantastic. The figure is awesome, so I left it on the card.
Yeah, that Saw Viper. He's the one that. I think he's the one that when I got that figure in 2006, I decided, no, this is what the Saw Vipers always looked like, except for that one that was in the comic.
So give me your hidden gem for this year then.
There's a bunch of those.
Yeah, there are actually.
I'm gonna say Rampart. I wasn't a fan when I was a kid. I didn't actually discover the
Good
significance of his MOS until later on with the Shoreline Defender. I love that concept, but I didn't. That meant nothing to me in 1990. Like I said, my dad was in the Army, but I didn't really know too many kids that had dads that were in the Navy. So really, other than ships, I didn't know anything about it. I was 10. I didn't know what a Navy SEAL was. I knew a lot about Green Berets. I didn't know what a Navy SEAL was. Not really. I mean, so yeah, it was like Rampart. When I understood him later and the look of him, that hood with the hat, the goggles, that is stellar. The accessories are awesome.
That's when I'm still trying to work out a decent update idea for a custom that I haven't quite put my finger on what I'm going to do with that yet, but it's on the list.
There's a custom I'm working on that is basically a foreign that's a soldier in one of the foreign detachments for Joe. That's basically the same type of concept because Rampart needs more help, and I love that idea. So yeah, Rampart was definitely a discovery that I made much later that totally changed. Because otherwise, when I was a kid, I got him, and I'm like, he's kind of boring, isn't he? Yeah.
That's not
later on.
I've never had that figure as a kid, or never had it as an adult. So yeah, but it's another one of the ones like Pathfinder and Muskrat that I'm like taking another look at. It's like, that's actually a pretty cool figure.
I do have a Rampart figure now, but I don't have his gear. I kind of want to get a new one that I can actually equip with all the gear. So,
are you ready for something completely off the wall? You will never guess this in a million years. This is what I'm going to pick as my hidden gem.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you 3 guesses, and I bet you can't get it. No, go ahead. Try 3 guesses.
I'm guessing it's not rapid fire, right? Okay.
It is not rapid fire.
I'm guessing that it is also not Metalhead.
It is not, although that is a good guess.
I love his portrayal in the comic. In the cartoon. I love the look of him in the cartoon. I hate that the figure just doesn't have that sort of presence.
Yeah. One more guess. You'll never. I guarantee you will not get it.
One of the Sky Patrol guys.
Ooh, close, but not quite. Very close.
Free Fall?
Nope. Sonic Fighter Viper.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely love that color scheme.
Never ever would have. Yeah. Okay.
I recently, when they put the club figure out, what is that? I've never seen that before. I never saw the Sonic Viper. Never saw the Sonic Viper as a kid. I've never seen it as an adult.
Actually, now that does make sense because they came out in 1990. You were already what? I was saying you were graduated from high school by then, right?
No, I graduated in 91, so I was a junior in high school.
Okay, but I could see why you would have overlooked the Sonic Fighters even if you saw them in the store. So, that Sonic Viper is great. I love the faceplate on it. That milky red cast faceplate. Yeah, he's cool. No, I wouldn't have guessed that, but good choice.
I absolutely would love to have that one and the club figure. I'd love to have a vintage one and the club figure, but
I would like Did the club figure come in the set with Dodger?
No, it was it was one of the figure subscription service figures.
Yeah, I know. Didn't they come in sets of two, or am I?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you who came with who.
Huh? Yeah, because he's cool. I kind of forgot about the Sonic Viper, so yeah, good choice. I wouldn't have guessed, but pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I thought that would be an interesting one. So that's 1990s.
All right, folks, that's 1990 for you. Some amazing figures this year, wouldn't you agree? What were your top picks? Were they the same as mine? Were they the same as JD's? There were also some weird ones this year, as JD and I both agreed, but we did not agree on which ones are the weird ones, which always makes for an interesting conversation. Which were the ones that you did not like? Again, were they close to mine, or were they closer to JD's picks? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And stay tuned for 1991, because that's coming up